Guys, this is getting tough already. Shoot. The mind game, the hunger, this is no fun, folks. This is absolutely... Lucid dreaming over Tokyo. So when mother is away from home and I have the kids, out of a sudden they are like the best kids ever. He is sitting relaxed, she's sitting relaxed, he's sleeping. I don't know what it is, but whenever they're with dad alone, they are calm. Whenever mom comes home, it's like, yeah, it's craziness. I have no explanation for that. So now getting into my evening meal. Tuna, rice, 5 pieces of cheddar cheese, some corn. Good stuff, folks, good stuff. The new trainings though are good as well. More of a pump because the first cycle of trainings was kind of a lot of high reps, you know, and I don't tend to like it, but I still did it. Now veins are present through the whole day, so that's always a nice thing to feel. Guys, this is getting tough already. Shoot. Just came back from the training. I survived. Freaking hell. The message that I just put out, you know, eventually I wanted to finish that. However, I had to catch the training because the gyms nowadays are so freaking crowded, it's not even fun anymore. Let me show you, and you will see my meal in a bit, which is going to be, you're going to laugh. But basically what happened, folks, my calories have been dropping seriously. What I mean with seriously, like real serious. I want to show you guys the very beginning macros that we started on with this prep. So we had, I'm training 5 days a week. Carbohydrates started at 450 grams of carbs, 250 grams of protein, 82 grams of fat. Now you have to understand that I was coming from 130 grams of fat, so 50 grams of fat is a lot, like I discussed in previous videos. For the refeeds, we had 240 grams of protein, 535 grams of carbs, 92 grams of fat. This was the 1st of March. So now we are into April, a little bit more over a month further. My weight was like sticking the whole freaking time at the same freaking weight. Although every single week we had been dropping carbohydrates, calories, you know, here and there, and also the fats, until a point that fats came to the 2nd of April. We were down to 250 protein, 270 carbs, and 59 grams of fat. So you can already see that fat has decreased a lot, carbohydrates decreased a lot, and also on the refeed day we're going to 230 grams of protein, 400 grams of carbs, and 67 fat. That's totally different than I just told you what the starting plan was. My weight was still sticking. It was, you know, a little bit dropping, not too much. And I was like, what the hell is going on with my body, coach? You know, can you explain this? Because how in the world can I increase food that much with the previous coach Joey, get it up to over 4,000 calories, which I have never been on? How is that possible? And with me now with, you know, 50 grams fat less, 200 grams of carbs less, you know, what the hell is wrong? What's happening? And he basically said, well, your metabolism is catching up very quickly. It adapts quickly to whatever you're gonna give it, and which means whenever you're gonna add food gradually, you know, do it structurally, eventually the body will become efficient with those calories, and therefore, you know, expending more energy, and therefore the weight stays the same. But you can also understand that when we were coming from a lot of carbohydrates to now a point, well, let me first make this thing which I was talking about. And he was saying also that you probably also have to go pretty deep in order to get lean. And that's very true, because in 2015 I was getting to a point that, you know, poverty macros, I think it was 175 grams of carbs at the lowest point near the end of the prep. Based on that, this week I had to follow new macros to get the weight moving. So we were sticking around 81 kilograms, okay? My protocols for now, he said, let's do things a little bit more aggressive. 245 protein, 180 grams of carbs, 52 grams of fat. Less fat, 100 grams of carbohydrates less, and on the refeeds 220 grams of protein, 330 grams of carbohydrates, 62 grams of fat. Folks, today is such a day that I have a training day living on 180 grams of carbs. 2 months ago I didn't know where the carbs should come from. I am actually trying to save as much as possible to not get to my carbs, and it's playing with my mind, I can tell you. It's playing very hard with my mind. It's playing the mind tricks. I have a very hard day, folks, I gotta tell you, I'm not gonna lie here. I'm glad that I have chewing gum, because otherwise I gotta eat the whole freaking kitchen. But the day started off with isolated whey, milk, some apple, and a banana. And that was already 52 grams of carbs, and I was like, freaking hell, what am I still need to, I was at the office today, and I had to go back home. Eventually train in the evening, which is very busy, you know, tired and stuff like that. Still did the workout. During the training, I also have an intra workout shake, which consists now of less dextrose, just 10 grams. But I was so freaking busy that, you know, I had to eat some popcorn to get some fast acting sugars in, because otherwise, man, I didn't know how to survive the training. Then my son was eating pizza. I was like, freaking, I'm starving to death here. I'm so hungry. You know, I'm gonna pick a slice of the pizza, and it's all calculated, by the way. But that was also grabbing from the carbohydrates. So just came home from the training and had left over 43 grams of carbohydrates. You're talking now post-workout. Fats 32, protein 108. So I'm going to stuff myself down with chicken teriyaki. Then I've left over 26 grams of carbohydrates still, 25 grams of fat, and 19 grams of protein. And by the way, before bed is already calculated the 500 grams of quark, or you know, cottage cheese, whatever you want to call it. So basically my post-workout meal is literally going to be freaking vegetables with chicken. This is awful, guys. You can understand, coming from a high carbohydrate diet where I am not knowing where to get the carbs from because it's so much, I'm now to a point where I am looking at myself and thinking, ooh, how the hell can I preserve as much carbs as possible? Going from one mindset to the other mindset, shift that around in about 1 day, that's pretty hard, folks. I'm not gonna lie here. I have to figure out how I'm going to freaking survive this, but just for you to know, it's just making sure that the weighing scales are moving downwards, which in the end is of course the goal. And eventually that happened, because this morning I dropped 1 kilogram already, and we dried up just a little bit. Just came back from the training, you know, everything is looking a little bit more diced. The pump was still good, you know, nothing to worry about, but the mind game, the hunger, this is no fun, folks. This is absolutely not funny at all. Gonna get into the meal. I'm gonna show you what it will be. Maybe I will get rid of some yogurt quark because it contains carbohydrates. And instead of that, let's do that right now. Instead of 500 grams, let's put 250 in. So that's gonna save 10 grams of carbs. And instead of that, going to do 1 scoop of whey protein. That's gonna have some carbs in it, but not as much as the quark itself. Man, I'm brain foggy now. So I'm gonna have 35 grams of carbohydrates left over. Literally, this is what it is to fine tune to get, you know, most out of the post-workout meal. It's kind of sad. And remember, the first show is 23rd of September, folks. Wow, okay, let's get into a meal. I don't know what I'm going to prep for you guys, but you're gonna see it and it's gonna be miserable. So, you wanna see what it's going to be? 400 grams of vegetables, 400 grams of chicken teriyaki. You can't imagine how I am waiting for this meal, because my stomach, bro, aching for food. And before bed, we have half the portion of quark to save more carbs. We had still fat left over and some protein. So half the quark, 250 grams. We have the whey protein, 1 scoop, and also gonna add some peanut butter. And you can also imagine how I am looking forward to the peanut butter. Tough? Well, didn't see this one coming. I have to say the chicken teriyaki though, freaking amazing. But where are the freaking carb sources? Where are those carbs? Alright, good morning ladies and gentlemen. Wow, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and on our way to, yes, FIBO Germany.